Caitlin Clark just dropped jaws again. Did you catch that insane step-back three? She was on fire, racking up 29 points, 13 assists, 5 steals, and 3 blocks. Yet, the Fever still lost 89-84. How does that happen? With Clark pulling off a superhero performance, you'd think they'd clinch the win. But nope. Christie side's coaching choices are looking shaky. Using Clark as a decoy for a 0-for-8 shooter? Come on. And the defense? Don't get me started. Plus, Clark's turnovers are through the roof, but she's a rookie learning the ropes. Despite it all, she's electrifying the WNBA. What's next for this rising star? This girl's got moves. I mean, she practically did everything except sell popcorn. And yet, the Fever still lost. Yup, you heard it right. How does that even happen? You'd think with Clark going full superhero mode, they'd walk away with the win, right? Well, not so fast. Let's talk about Christie sides for a sec. What's going on with her coaching choices? In the clutch moments, when Clark was hitting everything, sides decided to use her as a decoy to set up Kelsey Mitchell for threes. But here's the kicker. Mitchell was ice cold. 0-for-8 from beyond the arc. 0, 4, 8. And yet, sides kept insisting on this play when they were just 5 points down with 20 seconds left. Seriously? Why not ride Clark's hot hand? She was on fire. 5 out of 9 on threes. Come on, coach. Play to your strengths. And don't even get me started on the defense. The Fever's defense was like Swiss cheese full of holes. Mystics players were cutting and shooting like they were in a practice drill. The only bright spot on D was Lexi Hull, especially in the fourth quarter. But one player can't do it all. Sides seemed lost, unable to adjust the defensive scheme. It's like having a Ferrari and not knowing how to drive a stick. Clark is a powerhouse, and the team isn't leveraging her full potential. It's frustrating to watch. Now, let's be real about Clark's turnovers. She just broke a record that nobody wants. Most turnovers by a rookie in WNBA history. 127 turnovers in 23 games, breaking Nikki McCray's old record of 126 in 29 games. Ouch. She's leading the league with an average of 5.5 turnovers per game. That's a lot, but here's the thing. She's got the ball in her hands all the time, so it's bound to happen. She's a playmaker, always trying to create something. Sure, sometimes it goes wrong, but when it goes right, it's pure magic. And hey, even the greatest players have high turnovers. LeBron James, anyone? He has over 5,000 in the NBA. Clark's always trying to create something, making those difficult passes. She's a rookie, still figuring things out, getting in sync with her teammates who sometimes aren't in the right spots. She'll adjust with time. And let's not forget the US Olympic team coaching staff. Are they kicking themselves for not calling up Clark? They should be. With her performance, she's proving she belongs on that stage. She's electrifying, making every game a must-watch. Even on a tough day for the team, she's shining bright, showing why she's one of the most exciting players in the WNBA today. Sides decided to use her as a decoy. Seriously? She's raining threes, and you want to make her a distraction? The plan was to free up Kelsey Mitchell for some three-point shots. Then, there's the defense. Or rather, the lack of it. The Fever's defense was more open than a 24/7 diner. Mystics players were cutting through them like butter. The only one putting up any fight was Lexi Hull, especially in the last quarter. But one player can't do it all. Sides couldn't adjust the defensive scheme, leaving the Fever looking lost and confused. So, what's next for Caitlin Clark and the Fever? Can the coaching staff get it together? Will they figure out how to maximize Clark's talents and tighten up that defense? There are a lot of questions and plenty of drama ahead. One thing's for sure though, with Clark on the court, it's going to be a wild ride. Clark was everywhere on the court, defending, attacking, doing it all. The fourth quarter was especially spectacular. Clark scored 15 of her 29 points in that period. She practically carried the team on her back, attempting a heroic comeback. Not to mention the 5 rebounds and her 5 three-pointers that got the crowd going. She racked up so many stats that it's exhausting just to list them. But Kelsey Mitchell, usually the offensive star, was lost on defense. She couldn't keep up with her assignments and was constantly losing her mark. Then there's Nalissa Smith, who struggled to contest shots and box out effectively. She might as well have been handing out invitations for easy points. These defensive lapses were painfully obvious and led to crucial baskets for the Mystics, making it look way too easy. But let's give credit where it's due. Lexi Hull was the lone warrior on defense, especially in the fourth quarter. She was everywhere, plugging holes in the defense and making key stops. Her hustle was incredible, but one player can't carry the entire defense on her back. It was like watching someone try to hold back a flood with a paper cup. The stats tell the story. The Fever gave up 23 points from turnovers. That's like gifting the Mystics an entire quarter of scoring. And get this, the Fever only managed 2 offensive rebounds, compared to the Mystics' 10. That's a huge problem. It means the Fever had way fewer second chance opportunities. They couldn't control the paint or the boards, and it showed. So, there it is. Caitlin Clark can drop 29 points, dish out assists like candy, and steal and block like a seasoned pro. But if the rest of the team doesn't step up on defense, it's all for nothing. Coach Sides, are you listening? Time to get serious about defense, or it's going to be a long, frustrating season for the Fever and their fans. Basketball analysts and former coaches couldn't hold back their disbelief. Carol Ross, a former WNBA coach, summed it up perfectly. You don't take the ball out of the hands of your best player, especially when they're in the zone. Clark was the key to that game, and the decision to use her as a decoy was baffling. And she wasn't alone in this thinking. Analysts everywhere felt Sides had dropped the ball, quite literally. Social media was on fire too, with fans absolutely losing it over Sides' choices. One fan tweeted, "Why take the ball away from Clark when she's the only one scoring? Sides needs to rethink her strategies." The consensus was clear. Frustration and confusion reigned supreme. But this isn't just about one game. It's about a series of decisions that have fans and analysts doubting Sides' ability to lead the team effectively. Sides is under intense pressure now. She's got one of the league's brightest stars in Caitlin Clark, and figuring out how to maximize her talents is absolutely crucial. The fans are watching closely, analysts are dissecting every move, and the pressure is mounting. If Sides can't turn things around, the calls for change will only get louder. The good news? Clark is still a rookie. She's learning the ropes of professional basketball, and with more experience. She will learn to balance her risk-taking with more calculated decisions. This growth will come naturally as she adapts to the pace and physicality of the WNBA. Teams across the league are scrambling to adjust their defenses just to slow her down. Coaches are devising new strategies, double-teaming her, and doing everything they can to force the ball out of her hands. It's a testament to her incredible skill that she's getting this kind of respect from opponents. Watching how teams try to adapt to her presence is fascinating. So, what's the bottom line? Caitlin Clark's incredible performance is both a blessing and a challenge for the Fever. She's lighting up the court and bringing new fans to the WNBA, but the team needs to capitalize on her talent with better strategies and support. The next few games will be pivotal in shaping their season. Now, I want to hear from you. Should Coach Sides be fired? Do the Fever need new players to support Clark? Leave your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe for more WNBA content. Let's keep the conversation going and show our support for women's basketball.